Hi, my name is Charles Fang. I'm the homeowner of Chelsea Crossing Lot 21, which is directly next to the retention pond. And I completely agree with most of my neighbors' assessments and our concern. And I just want to supplement with several of my aspect. And number one, before today, the plans I saw, they don't have any distance from the borderline, so it's a violation of the city code for the 15 feet requirement. And I'm not sure, I haven't seen them. I'll have 5 seconds to see the new plan, but I'm not sure this is in line with the city ordinance or not. And number two concerns about the safety. And my lot is directly next to the retention pond. If there's any small children playing on my backyard, and it's very possible they can fall into it. And I'm not sure a small toddler can pull himself or herself out of the pond. And number three, you look at the design of the pond landscaping. It's surrounded by tall trees on 3 sides and lower open area on my backyard. And it attract any water bird like Canadian geese. And I'm afraid they will use my backyard as a breeding ground to take off and landing and prey and lay and drop their drops. And number 4, you look at the design again, it's out of sight for the Apple Grove community, for the residents, but it's full inside with our community from my yard. So the maintenance responsibility is on Apple Grove, but they have to spend resources to maintain, but they have no impact to concern about it. But for us, we have full impact, but we don't have the authority or right or responsibility to maintain it. So it's a real conflict, and I'm concerned about how it's going to be maintained. And number 4, to look at the stone drain design, they are designed to go to the existing drain system. They drain their waterfront retention pond to the stone drain, lay on my property on the existing drain line. And you look at the size of the community and the original design, it's going to handle 3 times the capacity for its original design. And I'm worried about when we have a big storm, I will have a flooded basement. And also number 6, if you look at the design of their plan, now number 9 is totally out of proportion. It's about 6 times the size of any other lot. And I'm worried about what kind of house will be built there. If we are going to build a Taj Mahal, will it be out of proportion and out of harmonious with all the other houses in the neighborhood? Okay, that's my concern, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is John Mucha. I'm an attorney representing various members of the Chelsea Crossing community. I don't want to repeat everything, and I thought Scott Alexander did a very good job with bringing to your attention a few things, but I do want to just make clear on the record a few additional concerns that have come to my attention. One concern here was with regard to the powers of this body and its ability to impose additional conditions. And I think that all of you are familiar with your own ordinances, and I don't need to recite those to you, but I do want to bring to your attention Section 34.556 in particular, in addition to some of the other sections that Scott Alexander had raised. This is with regard to the site plan approval process. It says that the Planning Commission may take additional requirements, may make additional requirements and impose additional conditions, quote, as will assure satisfactory and harmonious relationships between the development on the site and the existing and prospective development of contiguous land and of adjacent neighborhoods. You have the power to impose additional conditions if these uses are not harmonious. So yes, there are minimum requirements in your ordinance, but you have the ability to protect these homeowners, and that's what these homeowners are asking you to do. Just with regard to a few specific concerns here, the revised plan here has never been given to these homeowners. They've never had any chance to review it. It apparently addresses some concerns that were raised in a meeting on August 11th, but I don't know what's in there. I don't know what the landscape plan is, what the trees are, how far the pond is, whether the pond has been redesigned. Nobody knows. What this body's being asked to do tonight is whether or not it's ripe tonight to go ahead and approve and recommend a plan that is clearly superseded. So for a vote tonight for this body to say, well, yes, we, City Council, go ahead, we recommend a plan, what plan are you recommending? A plan that's never been seen by anybody, or a plan that now is outdated and superseded? We're asking that this matter be tabled so that the new plan can be worked on, can be reviewed appropriately, can be reviewed by this body appropriately, sufficiently in advance of the next meeting, consistent with the time requirements for site plan approval review, and consistent with the needs and interests of the neighbors here so that they have an opportunity for input. That's fair, and there hasn't been that part of this process fulfilled so far. It's clear that the old plan here doesn't meet some of the requirements, the 15-foot setback in particular. And that's not just a suggestion, it's a mandatory requirement of the ordinance. Question was raised, what are we going to, how does that impact the trees and landscaping? Well, the planner is saying, well, we think we can do that administratively. Really? Without any review or input by the residents to address all of their concerns? That's a bad idea. And what ought to be done here is the full plan ought to be fully put together before any kind of a vote is taken on it. That's just not, that full plan just isn't before this body, and there's been no review. There's a question here with regard to, and some confusion was created on the record here with regard to the drainage and the potential for flooding. I thought that the ponds here the basins had to meet a 100-year storm standard. I thought I heard from one of the planners that it was a 10-year storm standard. We did hear in our meeting that the pipes that feed the detention basins are only designed to a 10-year storm standard, but that the pond would be at a 100-year standard. Well, if you've only got the pipes that can take a 10-year storm, what happens if you get a 30-year storm or a 100-year storm event? Those pipes can't handle that water. Even before they get to the basin, those pipes are going to overflow. Those catch basins are going to overflow. Where's that water going to go? Downhill, towards Chelsea Crossing. There are ways to address those concerns in that water. Could be through the use of berms. It could be through the use of other kinds of increased requirements for the underground pipes here. Those are the kinds of issues that need to be addressed more thoroughly, and I think in more detail than they have thus far. Let's see. The question of enforcement also came up. There is a maintenance agreement, but perhaps there are conditions that can be added to that agreement to address some of the concerns of the residents. Perhaps adding a bond requirement. Perhaps adding an annual inspection requirement. A number of different creative suggestions are at your disposal, and those are the kinds of things that we would ask that you also consider. And I think with that, I'll just simply conclude by saying that the homeowners would request that this matter be tabled and that there not be a vote on the old and outdated plan this evening. Thank you.
No question. Now you're speaking specifically what his role is. No, not now.
Hi, I'm Kim Mancini. I live on Laurel Drive in Oakcrest. The attorney tonight spoke about how the neighbors had been consulted about this project. I spoke to my neighbors in Oakcrest tonight, and we have not been consulted. I don't know if our board of directors has been consulted, but none of that has been communicated. And the letter that you sent informing us of the meeting was the first we'd even heard of this development tonight. I had actually called Kramer Triad back in the beginning of June because I was concerned that the trees had been being taken down, and I was informed that someone had bought the property by Kramer Triad, but that is all they knew. And again, the homeowners of Oakcrest, unless the board knows, have known nothing until this letter went out for the notice of the meeting. So our feedback actually, at least mine, has not been considered in any of this. My concern is I live in a unit that directly faces Lot 9. This was the first time I'd seen a drawing of Lot 9 tonight. It's a little concerning because it's a little bit different than the rest of the properties. We've lived in Oakcrest for 4.5 years. I've lost $80,000 in value since we moved here, And facing Lot 9, I think I might lose some more unless there is some sort of substantial buffer so that I don't have to look at Lot 9 and Lot 9 does not have to look at my humble condo. The other thing I wanted to draw attention to is that there's a development currently going on Wintergreen of new homes. It's been going on for 4.5 years. We've been facing that. They've only built 3 homes in 4.5 years. There's a lot more to be done. I'm an economist and I work as an economist. I know a lot about the property values, and I'm a little skeptical that, you know, we can build all of these 17 homes immediately and sell them right now in the current economy. So again, you know, with Wintergreen going on, I'm really not excited for another development to go on that could take years, and again, decrease my property value and the taxes that you're getting from me on a real-time basis. So with that said, I'd like you to table the matter tonight. It sounds like you don't have the updated plans, and, you know, Oakcrest, really, the owners, have not had an opportunity to speak unless the board has spoken on our behalf. But I think we should have, as the homeowners and owners of Oakcrest, a right to give our consideration and feedback of the plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rita Donnelly, and I live in Ramblewood Manor. And I, too, this was the first notice that I have of this meeting. And when I first read the letter, it said 17 single-family residences. And I thought, well, how could they do that on 12 acres? These homes have to be like one on top of the other. And what is this going to do to the property values in that whole area, my area and everybody else around it? And the second issue I have is I drive down 13 Mile all the time. It's a natural beauty road. I'd like it to be that way. Ramblewood, we left woods in front of the whole subdivision. There's woods all around it. I'm opposed to tearing down all these trees. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julia McGibbon. I also live in Oakcrest subdivision. And this is the first that we've heard of this. I agree with my neighbor with the letter that we just got about today's meeting. We didn't know anything about it. And I just want to agree also with the 13 Mile and widen it. If you ever took a drive down 13 Mile in the fall, you would agree it should not be disturbed. It is a beautiful mile stretch. So I agree with not widening the road. And I do agree that maybe you should wait and look more into the plans and consult us, or, you know, have us in on some of the meetings. We haven't been consulted at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Further speakers? Going once? Going twice? Winner. Oh. Just beat the bell.
Hi, my name is Michelle Liu. I'm on Chelsea Crossing, lot 15. And all people have talked about what I want to say. I just want to have one short, I don't know, it's a question or asking a favor. People live in Chelsea Crossing. Lots of professionals taking sleeping pill to fall to sleep. If you started this project, could you please start after 7:30? Right now, we will woke up at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? Close the public hearing. Some of the comments that were made were very good. Thank you very much for your input. A couple of times we were asked to get responses from various people, but I don't interrupt your time while we have our time. The attorney.
My question is simply for the attorney who spoke. Did you say that you were representing the subdivision as a body, or some of the members as individuals? Some of the members as individuals. Okay.
His answer was some of the members. So.
Thank you.
Ms. Topper, you want us to?
It was answered.
Okay. Thank you. We have a plan in front of us that was dated August 2nd, and that's the one that we're looking at here. It was received by the city, and that's what